Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world. And a very special welcome, although she lives in the ashram all the time, in a form as Mother Kali. We welcome Mother Kali and invoke her presence for the next 3 days. And the environment around is testimony to the period that we are currently in, both locally, nationally, and internationally. We are immersed in this darkness that is prevailing here at the Satsang today materially, and in our country and around the world. It is through this darkness that I cannot see Vasudeva, but also this darkness is veiling Satish Bhai in the back. There is no reflection on his bald head. Normally there's a light that shines on his bald head and I can see him through that reflection. Today there's just nothing. I can hear him, but I can't see him. So we need an energy to see and to hear and to know. We need a potency. We need a potency to see, to hear, and to know. And it is in these days, this is Navaratri celebrated in North India, and my Guru, Swami Sudarshan Acharya Maharaj, has his ashram, the Sri Siddhartha Ashram in Faridabad, India, which is situated in the north. Ashrams in the same sampradaya, but in the south, may be celebrating Lord Ram in these 9 days and the Ramayana. However, it is my incumbent duty and mandate to only follow what my Guru has done in his lifetime, so as there to be no confusion. So based on that, also in Navratri, the ashrams from the Sri Sampradaya would also be celebrating the 8 forms of Mother Lakshmi, which we did, I think, last year or the year before. The year before we did the 8 forms of Mother Lakshmi, and that would be celebrated in the south. But Guruji celebrated the 3 forms of Mother Durga / Kali, the 3 forms of Mother Lakshmi, and the 3 days of Durga, 3 days of Lakshmi, and 3 days of Mother Saraswati. So yesterday, in my absence, Shravan gave a discourse from Google. And this is the danger of a professional reciter. This is what the Vedas warn against. Professional reciters, they will give you information as they glean it from another source. It is not realized information. Not realized information. When the Guru sits here, the Guru gives you realized information. And this realized information is a potency that enters your body through the various layers until it touches your soul. And this is why in Sanatana Dharma we do not follow scholars. We do not follow scholars. They are so-called scholars in Hinduism. We do not follow them. We follow gurus because gurus experience and live the information that they expound and transmit. So, there was a debate, I think, on who Mother Durga really is. And it is our duty at the Sriman Narayan Dham, as per our constitution of the Acharya Ashram Ramanuj Foundation, it is constituted that one of our aims, our mission statement is to eradicate confusion in Sanatana Dharma. So, who is Mother Durga? Pramila, a question will come to you, Durga specialist. So, Pramila is thinking whether she must go to that Maki in Siripat Road or come to Acharyaji's ashram and look at her face.
No, Guruji.
So under that Maki today you'll find about 500-600 people, because they will present Mother Durga through emotions and rituals. And a lot of ladies will yank the hands of the husbands and take them to this puja, because it has 108 Havan Kunds, I think, and each family will sit in a Havan today, and then they will have a big Mother Durga Havan, and a whole lot of rituals will be happening. A few years ago, when I was having my Satsang at Saligram, then this 9 days will be booked by a certain group of people. They will even hire an extractor. They will even hire an extractor to extract the smoke from. Pramila was there.
Yes, I was there.
All right, Pramila. How much of smoke you created, Pramila? Besides the smoke you create in everyone's life, in that hall, how much of smoke you created, Pramila? Guru is back, Pramila. I know you was hoping yesterday Guru get a deputy presidential job there and just stay away in Joburg, Cape Town, Joburg, Cape Town. No more ASRF. Acharyaji is now Bossa. Not ASRF, Bossa. So Pramila was praying hard. Pramila?
No, Guruji, I missed you yesterday.
My photograph was looking at you, Pramila. Yeah. Okay. So who is so there's a difference in gurus presenting who Mother Durga is, and priests and pandits presenting who Mother Durga is. Alright? So there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong going to that grounds in Siripat Road, doing your Havan and going home. You will get blessed by Mother Durga, but you won't get cured. You'll get blessed, but you won't get cured. It's like going to a doctor's surgery and him prescribing medication for your heart problem that you have. So you go to your doctor's surgery, Premila, he'll give you Disprin, you'll weaken your blood, but you never solved your heart problem. To solve your heart problem, you need to go to a heart specialist. So those that will go to the ritualistic part of Navratri today, and this would be around South Africa, 80% of South Africans will be in the ritualistic part of Navratri. They will get some blessings, but their problems will be the same until next year's Havans. Ramla, you experience that? Talk. This is the ashram of the truth.
But the world is hearing, Guruji.
Yes, the world is hearing. And this Guru wants to teach the world. Guru wants to teach the world. That is why we are on social media. Only reason we are on social media is we want to teach the world. This is a world platform. So that attraction of Mother Durga through Havan is good, the feeling is good, the power is good, but when you leave that hall or the tent and jump in your car, power is gone. Load shedding. Perpetual load shedding, light only turned on at the Havan. Havan over, back to spiritual load shedding. But when you come to Guru, then the Guru turns on the light. Guru turns on the light and there's no load shedding until death. No load shedding until death. And that is the difference in which form of Navratri and where you attend. So at every one is born in Sanatan Dharma with a qualification. And the Vedas have two parts to the Vedas. One, the ritualistic portions of the Vedas, and other, the spiritual side of the Vedas. So everyone would have started at some point in this 155 trillion years that have passed since this creation at the ritualistic portion, but you need to upgrade. You need to upgrade to the spiritual side of the Vedas. The spiritual side of the Vedas is the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutras or Vedanta Sutras. Alright? So that is where the Guru is. You go to primary school, high school, then you have to go to university. So when you're performing your rituals, you go into temples and you're performing your rituals in terms of any of the functions that's on the calendar of Sanatan Dharma. When you're in the ritualistic part, then you are in primary school, high school. And when you do it through the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, then you are in university. So wherever you are situated in your life at this point in time, the upgrade will be university. And this is stated, I'll find the relevant book tomorrow, and I will show you that Mother Kali instructs all her devotees to enter a spiritual dimension. So this instruction is not from the Guru, it's from Mother Kali herself, and she states in many verses that you must now convert from material to spiritual. Pramila, Mother Kali is saying this, not Guru. You must convert from material to spiritual. You understand? So I'm going to bring evidences during this Navratri so that I can corroborate these discourses, because I saw when Hemita, she finds relevant pieces of these discourses that she likes, she chops it up and then she dices it into TikTok. And then I see quite a few discourses went viral, and there were people that was for the discourse and others were against the discourse. And I think we should not be upset when people disagree with the discourses, because 90% of Sanatan Dharmis are in the mode of ignorance. And it is this type of people that will disagree. And they have stated very, very clearly that I do not agree with this man. Straight away, when they hear a guru speaking and they say, I do not agree with this man, it shows that they do not have mannerism in Sanatan Dharma. And every Sanatan Dharmi, if you hearing this discourse, you must do due diligence. I have credentials. Find my credentials, see who I am, see where I am affiliated, see what this Sri Narayan Dham is worth. Go do a proper research and then come back to comment. So when you say this man, when you say a guru given a discourse in an ashram, and when you say this man, what does it say about you who's making this comment that used the word this man? It shows that your parents also were ignorant. Your parents did not teach you that you must not call elders. You can see by my beard, when I was in Pretoria, people were saying, I'm 80. I am 80. I'm inviting people for my birthday, and they said, Guru, age? I said, guess, 75, 80. So even if I'm not, you don't take cognizance of the guru effect. I'm an old man. You can see I'm old. You can see I'm giving a discourse. You can see I'm not fighting you. Nothing is personal. If you had decent Sanatan Dharmic parents, then you will ask, you won't say, this man, if you don't want to call me guru, please granddad, we do not understand, please explain. Don't say, this man does not know what he is talking about. I followed my parents who followed their parents who followed their parents. Is that an educated argument? If you want to argue with the guru, then you can only argue through the Bhagavad Gita, through the Upanishads, through the Ramayana, through the Mahabharata, because these are authentic scriptures of Sanatan Dharma. If you are not within the parameters of these scriptures, It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, those who do not follow the scriptures are of a demonic nature. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that those who do not follow the scriptures are of a demonic nature. So if you say, I am a Hindu, then the summary of all Vedic injunctions is the Bhagavad Gita. If you say, I am a Hindu, then that attaches you to the Bhagavad Gita immediately. Or Satish Bhai, you say by default? If you say, I am a Hindu, then by default you are attached immediately to the Bhagavad Gita. Then when you make a comment, it have to be within the parameters of the Bhagavad Gita. So in the Bhagavad Gita, in that discourse that I was discussing Pitra Paks, what food to take out and how to take out. That is also in the Bhagavad Gita, because Lord Shri Krishna says, who worship the demons go to the demons. Now let's understand this. If you take out alcohol, daca, meat, steaks, and offer it, who eat this? The demon or the divine? Demon or divine? Demon. So the Lord has stated in the Bhagavad Gita, if you worship the demon, you'll go to the world of the demon. Does he state that or not? You understand? So my discourse, when I was warning you not to do that, came with a legal verdict injunction. So similarly, I'm explaining to you today, and I'm asking you this question, who is Mother Durga or Mother Kali? And who is Mother Parvati? My devotees are happy. You discuss Durga, Kali, Parvati, happiness. But if I discuss Lord Narayan, quiet, no interest. Alright? Can you imagine what must be happening at the tent now? 108 Havan Kund. 10 Bhadra Kalis around each Havan Kund. You understand? And what they are thinking? Mother Durga is here to give and take away all the obstacles, Premila. Mother Durga is here to give and eradicate all the obstacles. So who is Mother? Durga. Amita? Vasudeva.
I read a book that it said that she's one of the incarnations of Mother Parvati, but then is she also one of the incarnations of Mother Lakshmi?
So who's Mother Parvati and who's Mother Lakshmi? We want to be scientific and we also want to be authentic and we want to be within the parameters of the Vedas. So let's start again. Everything starts at creation. Everything starts at creation. At creation, the Upanishad tells us that the Supreme Lord was alone. Supreme Lord was alone. And then he thought, let me become many. That thought Mama, I'll tell you the fine later. Tell that person that phoned you there's a fine. That energy that was used in the process of thinking, that potency of that thought, is Mother Lakshmi. The power of Mother Lakshmi. That same potency which is Mother Lakshmi is that of the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayan. So when I say there is no difference between Mother Lakshmi and Lord Narayan, it is one personality. Have I taught you that before? Mother Lakshmi and Lord Narayan is one personality. But in this human form, there is a female and a male biologically. Biologically, there is a male and a female. However, the soul that is seated in Vasan's body is not a male soul. And the soul seated in Jessica's body is not a female soul. There are no male souls and no female souls. Souls have no gender. Souls have no gender. Satisfied? If you do not man up to your wife in this lifetime, next lifetime you'll have a female body. And if your wife was a man in this marriage, next lifetime she'll have a male body. Vasan, you love it? You think I'm joking? Anyone think I'm joking? So the soul can have a male or a female body. You understand? But the soul itself does not have a gender. For the Supreme Lord to express His potency, that energy of His potency is personified by a female, which is He Himself. The energy that emanates from Him takes a female personification called Lakshmi at the outset, but that same Lakshmi incarnates as Kali or Durga in the material universes. Kali or Durga in the material universes. Do you understand? So let's get back to the question. I know you are tired. I know you are depressed because there's no lights. Let's see who's sharp. Who is Mother Durga?
Lakshmi.
And ultimately, Lord Sriman Narayan. Him? Can you see? Can you see? All of you. Do you understand? You understand, Premila? Why I told you, forget all your Durga Puja, just come to Lord Sriman Narayan. Because Mother Durga is the incarnation of Mother Lakshmi herself, which is a potency, the power of the Supreme Lord, Lord Sriman Narayan. Premila is not happy. Okay, you stay in that. Stay there. Premila is very sad. Everyone in the satsang was supposed to be happy, and those watching around the world, because this takes away the confusion. This takes away the confusion. And this is what I'm teaching. I'm teaching why you want to worship parts of the Supreme Lord when you can worship the Supreme Lord as a whole one time. Satisfied? Why you want to worship that part that allows you to have a mortuary in your house. Don't know? Or you... See, as soon as I said that, Lord Narayan gave us power. When you was in darkness, Premila, and now you in light. When you was in darkness, now you in light. If your parents were not gurus, bona fide gurus from the Vaishnavite, then you can't say, I'm following my parents. If they are not Sri Sampradaya Gurus, then you cannot say, I'm following my parents. All of you understand? Is that a legal argument contextually for those people that say, I'm following my parents? You understand? So, the job of the Guru is manifold. Job of the Guru is manifold. Do not take on the Guru unless you take him on scripturally. Unless you take him on scripturally. You can have a conversation with the Guru, you can ask the Guru questions, but don't tell the Guru. Don't tell the Guru, because you have to come with scripture to tell the Guru. All of you understand? So you would have noticed that this weekend, yesterday I was absent, and you would have heard that on Sunday, on Thursday night, I flew to Johannesburg to launch a new, to be part of the launch of a new political party. All right? So this is my fourth time. My fourth time in my life that I've been involved in the launch and working within a political party from the ground up. From the ground up. In my 60 years, starting from 2001 to date. How many years that is, Jessica? 30? 2001 to 2020? 21. I have 21 years of continuous experience in getting involved on the ground and forming structures from 4 different organizations. And there would be a question, because I'm the first Guru in South Africa to be actively involved in the political situation of the country. People are not seeing this. But I want to state that there is Yogi Adityanath, who is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh in India, which is the biggest state. He's a Swami, he's an ordained monk. If you want to call him an ordained monk, he's a Swami, and he is the Chief Minister. When he went to that state, they say it was Gunda Raj. Gunda Raj means it was run by criminals. Today there is not a whisper of criminality. He is running that state with an iron fist. He is still a guru. He still goes to his ashram. He has an ashram. He still does what he has to do in the ashram, but he's also taken a position of chief minister. Because he is within his spiritual rights. He is within his spiritual rights, which is verified by the Vedas, to do what he is doing. You understand? And he's doing the best job that was ever done in India. His cleanup is the most substantive throughout India. Then you have the Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi. He is a disciple of the Ramakrishna Center. He is a fully surrendered disciple of the Ramakrishna Center, fully surrendered. And he has taken India in 8 years, which would be impossible for an ordinary politician to achieve what he has achieved in 8 years. If you check the status quo of his family, if his brothers were carpenters, they are still carpenters in the same premises. You understand? Whatever profession his brothers had prior to him becoming chief minister in Gujarat, and they live in Gujarat, their lifestyle is the same. When he was in chief minister of Gujarat, his brothers, his sister, his one brother-in-law, their lifestyle is the same. Today is a prime minister, lifetime is the same, because you got in government a prime minister who is righteous. A prime minister who is righteous. You got a chief minister who is righteous. And if the leadership is righteous, there's prosperity in the country. And this message I want to give to South Africans. 9 years ago, India was a carbon copy of South Africa. 9 years ago, there was no hope in India. There was no hope in India. Every department, from the municipality to national, every government department was corrupt. Every department was corrupt. In 8 years today, where is corruption? India is the size of Africa. India is the size of Africa. If you put a righteous leader and he fills his cabinet with righteous leaders and fills his government with righteous leaders, what will happen to the country? Becomes righteous. Look at India and look at the size of India. 1.2 billion people. How big is the corruption mathematically in 1.2 billion? And what is the size of corruption in 59 million? You understand? So India has given me hope, not because I'm an Indian, but because I am a realist. because I am a realist, I am scientific, and I have common sense. And common sense is telling me one man single-handedly changed a country the size of Africa from corrupt to non-corrupt, and India's economy is number 5 in the world. It has even superseded Europe. All this in 8 years. All this in 8 years. And I was inspired by the result of righteous injection into politics. And it is for this reason I was at the launch of the most trending political party in South Africa today. The most trending political party in South Africa today. And if you go and look at my discourses previously, I have evidence that from the spiritual dimension, I already predicted that Musi Maimani will be the change that South Africa needs. At that point in time, he was in a non-political organization called OSA. And a few months later, he launched his political party called Build One South Africa. And I sat both in the executive, national executive, and I am pushing the agenda of that party immediately after the launch. Immediately after the launch, and I have full confidence that if South Africans get up from armchair politics, to active politics, 2024 we can have a brand new president, a brand new government, and the cleanest government that South Africa ever had. Because Musi Maimani is also a pastor. And I just want you to understand that I was the first guru ever to give his finances outside. All the time devotees handled my finances up until the time we came into the ashram, where it became impractical. So no matter how many thousands entered, and Musi Maimani said the same in a national executive meeting. He said millions going to pour into the organization, but he must be excluded from the finances of the organization. And I want to impress on this. He is the face of the organization. People are funding the organization through his face, yet he wants to be excluded from all the finances. So what type of president you think South Africa is going to have? He has a simple home in Johannesburg and a simple dwelling in Cape Town. No luxuries, yet he can afford it. You understand? So we have a man with absolute humility. We have a man who cares for the country. He had a big church before he became a politician. And he and I agreed that he will never tell a lie as long as he lives. There was an understanding, let's say not agreement, but understanding. You understand? He might not. If you're in politics, you can bypass the truth. You can, but you don't have to tell a lie. You understand? Because there might be a truth there that you don't want to engage in, because it will have collateral damage to what you're doing. So sometimes you have to bypass the truth, Jessica. But please, Jessica, don't take this and you run with it. I'm talking about Musi Memani. All right? So I went a little beyond because it's my ashram. I was absent. I didn't want you to know a whole lot of things, otherwise you would have not come to Satsang. You would have had a holiday. And I also wanted to verify what I am doing because there is no perception from my side. So after that verification, I am here to tell you and ask you and plead with you to get your families, get your friends, get everyone involved in Build One South Africa. It is your country. If you do not do it in this 2024 election, don't come for blessings in 2029. Don't come for blessings in 2029. I am involved in politics because it is a Vedic injunction that the gurus must be involved in injecting morality into politicians. You understand? But I also want you to understand that when you come to satsang, when you come to the ashram, I can bless you in your personal capacity. When you leave this ashram, you now belong to the country. If the country is in a state of depression, I can bless you individually. Your individual blessing does not translate to the country's prosperity. You understand? So I bless you here personally, but I have to get involved in blessing the country through the government. In blessing the country through the government. And this is the reason why religious leaders from Islam, from Christianity, from Judaism should be actively involved in blessing their people in their own institutions and also getting involved in the various spheres of government and making sure that the moral and ethical codes of humanity is entrenched at that level. You understand? So Vasan wants his aircon business to prosper. So he comes in for tenders. I blessed about, I think, 1,000 tenders. Yes, I did. But when he went outside, that job is already given before the tender is printed. So I blessed his tender in the ashram. The corrupt, and I asked Vasan explicitly to tell that gentleman who is handling the tenders, what time can I meet you at Nando's? Vasan was not prepared to play the Nando's game. In South Africa, if you don't play the Nando's game, Jessica, you don't get a tender. Do you understand? He came to me, I blessed him, but his tender couldn't work out there because it was already given before it was even printed. So don't you think it is necessary to bless your devotees here and make the government officials devotees? When they become devotees of the Lord in any religion, then they won't want to be in the gravy train. The salary will be enough. So we've come to a point in 2024 where there is still some gravy in the train. We can recover, we can make a turnaround in the economy. But if you come to 2029, the gravy train won't even have wheels, let alone the gravy finish. No, yes, because if you look at all this load shedding and the gravy train is running on electricity, you understand? There will be no train left. So I'm serious. analytically in terms of politics in South Africa, everyone over the age of 18, you will be responsible if you don't vote for a righteous party. And currently, the most righteous organization trending in South Africa and personality. On Saturday, we got electronic geniuses. And on Saturday, immediately after the launch, it was reported that Musi Maimane was the most trending politician in the country. And I think his status quo continues to exist up to now. Our doors are being knocked from every corner. Some people are even knocking from the roof. Please take us in your organization. That's how we are trending. Because there is no option. There is absolutely no option. When I explained to Jessica earlier on, the government is giving you 2 slices of bread, no butter, and no filling. And that's all you're getting. And that's all you are getting. So our organization was born on Saturday. We're giving you cheese, mayonnaise, and butter. So when you're going to look, which side you're going to go for? Because there were 5 million people who did not vote because no political party had the cheese, the mayonnaise, and the butter. You understand? So they just stopped because they're tired of 2 slices of dry bread. So we are the option. We are the only option. And I want you to be logical. Be logical. All those other political parties that are currently in vogue today, they have reached their ceiling. They have reached their ceiling. So if you go to the parties that are there today, you're just going to waste your vote because they can't do anything. Had they the potency to do anything, it would have been done a long time ago. So you have to join the Guru. And the Guru never makes a mistake. And the Guru is not standing in the back of Bosa. The Guru is standing in the front of Bosa. And the Guru going to work, has started work, and will continue to work until the last vote is cast. And if we don't make it in 2024, then I'll get up and I'll continue to work until 2029 because I promised. I made a promise, Hemita, that in 2029 this country will be changed 180 degrees. And I made that promise a year ago. I said we got 2024, what we want to be this organization and where it must take the country in 2024 and 2029. Okay, are there any questions? All of you understand? Okay, who's going to sing the Aarti? You're going to play it.